Good evening, my people. This video is going to be on changing a track on a Toro STX-26. I've got all the parts in. This is a follow-up video to the pump diagnostics that I did for one of the track motors. We got two new motors in the box here. Not motors, sorry, pumps. I won't pull them out, but brand new, ready to go. We're going to get those installed probably in a separate video. In this video, I want to change the track. This one's already done. We're going to do the other side. I went ahead and did it ahead of time just so I wasn't fumbling around and wasting time on how to change it. It's a pretty simple process. A couple of pointers that'll help you out if you ever have to change one. Got the other new track sitting right here. That's the old one I already took off. So let's move around to the other side and I'll show you the process and changing one of I did read the manual. Let me get a light here. I did read the manual and got their instructions on how they say to do it, which is pretty accurate. Just a couple of things. Now, this is your, let's see if we can get this like that. This is your tensioner right here. Okay, it doesn't mention it, but these two bolts, there's actually nuts on the back side that you have to hold with a wrench and then loosen these. And what that does is loosen this whole carrier up that slides in and out to tension the track. And this is the tensioner screw that as you tighten this up, it pushes on this, which in turn slides this wheel that way to tighten up the track. So the way to do it, what I tried doing on the other one first was backing this off as much as I could. I slid the wheel all the way in. The track was able to come off pretty simple, but the new track, being that it's a little smaller, it's not all stretched out, was kind of difficult to get on there. I fought with it for a couple of minutes, and then I said, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and make this easier. And what I did is there's just a little C-clip in here, as you'll see in the video. You pull the C-clip out, and then there's this little dust cap. You pull that off, and then there's a bolt right in here, 3/4 bolt that will take off. And this side of the wheel, this pulley, there's one on the inside, we won't be touching that, and there's one on the outside. This we take off, and that gives you enough room to be able to slide the belt off and put the new belt on. And then you stick this wheel back on, tension it up. As far as tensioning, they tell you that around in the middle right here, you're supposed to apply about 45 pounds of pressure, and this should only move, I believe it was 3/8 to 1/4 of an inch. So it's gonna be pretty tight. The other one I did tighten up to pretty close to where it needs to be. I'm gonna run it around a little bit and then retension it, because I'm sure your first couple of drives on it forward and backward are gonna stretch the track a little bit, and then we'll go ahead and do a final adjustment on it. So again, this video is just gonna be about replacing this this track. As you can see, is obviously garbage. So I'm just gonna set up the camera and just kind of go through the process. Rather than talking through the whole video, I'll probably just throw some music in and speed it up a little. But the first thing I'll be doing, we'll be loosening this bolt to take all the tension off. I'll loosen these bolts and then slide this down. And then I'll probably just remove the track the way it is now to kind of show you how to do it without taking this wheel off. Then I'll take this wheel off, put the new track on, put the wheel back on, and tension it up. So let me see if we could just set you up in a good spot here. I would say that's probably pretty good. All right. These are the tools I'm going to use. This is just a extension for my ratchet to get a little bit of leverage on it. We've got a 24mm or a 15/16. Either one will work for these bolts here. So that's that. And then the 3/4 inch to hold the other side of these bolts on the back side, or 19 millimeter, which is what I have on this gun, a 19 millimeter, to go ahead and loosen this up. And we'll, as far as the cap, if you want to use C-clip pliers, or I just use a screwdriver. There's actually, if you look kind of closely, let me see if I get some light in here. There's actually a little slot. Let me see if we can get you set up here. There's a little slot. Get something to work with here. There's a little slot right here, which you can get a thin screwdriver in, which actually allows you to take this clip out without a pair of C-clip pliers, you know, with the little pins that go in the holes. So a nice thin screwdriver here and here, and you're able to pull this out of the channel. Then you just grab a pair of pliers and just pull this little dust cover off, and the bolt will be right there to take this wheel off. The other thing I'm going to do is use some anti-seize compound on this bolt, just because it does get pretty tight to move in and out. So. Okay, so those bolts are loose. Just need them to be a little bit loose. I kind of went farther than I needed to on them. And then by having this off, it's not pushing up against here, so this wheel should go in now. All I do is just take a hammer. Take that right off. Got a new one here. This is the part number 112-4816. They're the same for the left and the right hand side. These can be put on in either direction. They're bi-directional. I'm going to try seeing if we can get this on. Oh, at this time, another thing you want to do is check all of these wheels and these bearings for excess play and make sure they're not seized or anything like that piece of wood stuck in it. And these all seem pretty good. The bearings are in good shape. Let's see if we can get this on without having to remove this pulley this time. I think we're going to have to, though. As you can see, that was kind of a pain in the neck, so this is what we're going to do. So you can see the clip here. Got the hole there and the hole there. And then there's the little opening right here. But you're able to pop that out. Now we can work that clip right out. Pop this side. And that's the C-clip right there. Now I just take a pair of pliers or vice grips, and that just comes right off. Just a little paper washer in there. And there you go. Now you'll see how much easier it is to put this on. Just a little piece of rubber. There we go. I want to make sure that that back end is in the groove. All right. And there you go. That's all there is to it. You can see the tension I got on there. It's probably a little on the loose side right now, but we'll tighten that up in a little bit after we run it a little. But pretty simple. You just want to make sure you tighten that nut back up against this threaded area right here, just so this doesn't spin loose. And these are nice and tight. Got the cap back on. And so that's all there is to replacing the tracks. So they're both done. Here's the old ones. All right, like I said, the next video we'll be changing out these two pumps. And like I said, the left pump, the pump for that side is bad, and the left or the right pump for the left side is fine. But we're going to change them both out, because who knows, I'm sure that this one's not far behind if that one went. And we're going to change all the hydraulic oil. There's actually 6 gallons of hydraulic oil in the whole system, so we're going to drain all that out and put some fresh hydraulic oil in it for the new pumps. And then we'll adjust it up and get it running. All right, thanks for watching. Have a good one.